Hello and welcome to Best Self Yoga, a practice for K-12 educators. My name is Lindsay and I'm a teacher here in Southern Oregon. Best Self Yoga is inspired by the principles from the book Teach from Your Best Self, a teacher's guide to thriving in the classroom, written by my good friend Jay Schroeder. If you'd like to learn more about Teach from Your Best Self and Jay's mission, you can see the links in the description below. If you enjoy this practice and would like to see more Best Self Yoga, please like and subscribe. But in the meantime, I'll meet you on the mat in a comfortable seat of your choice. Hello, welcome back to your third practice, which is inspired by Chapter 3, Mapping the Brain, Teaching and the Stress Response System. So settling in any way that feels good to you. Anchoring down through those sits bones, letting your legs get heavy. When you're ready, we're going to inhale, reach for the sky. And when you get to the top, reach just a little bit higher. And as you exhale, letting the shoulders fall away from your ears and letting your hands continue the journey into your lap. Nice work. We're going to think about our heart and just moving our heart around in a circle. And so we're just going to start one direction, doesn't matter which one, just go with whatever happens. So, part of the definition of teaching from your best self is being able to respond to a situation rather than react. Go ahead and switch directions, making circles with your heart the other way. Where reacting is an automatic, spontaneous reflex, like the knee-jerk reflex is a reaction. Go ahead and find stillness here. So we're going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to exaggerate our chest. So thinking about cat-cow, so we're going to inhale, sending our chest forward with that circle. And then exhale, rounding through, pulling our heart back towards our shoulder blades. Nice work. Continuing with your own breath. When it feels good, just switching directions, inhaling and exhaling. Where response is when we have a stimulus, finding stillness again. And we just create space between that stimulus and whatever action we take. It's like building a best self reflex, which involves pausing and noticing what's happening in your body. You're going to inhale, reach for the sky. As you exhale, letting your shoulders fall away from your ears. This time we're just going to hold our hands here up in the sky. If your shoulders start to inch back up towards your ears, with your next exhale, just thinking about letting them fall down to the earth, pulling your navel in towards your spine. You're probably noticing sensation building in your fingertips. Sticking with it, keeping your arms above your head as you notice the sensations in your arms, your shoulders, your chest. Noticing how the sensations in your fingertips are probably getting more intense. Inhaling to look up And as you exhale, just slowly with your breath, lowering the hands, noticing those sensations change as we come through neutral and that flush of energy flooding our fingertips. We're going to plant them on our mat, grounding that energy into the earth. With time, the intensity of the sensation decreases, just riding the waves of our sensations in our bodies. Nice work. I'm gonna go ahead and just shake out our arms. Notice how that's feeling. You have a couple options for this next part. So the first option is to just cross the opposite leg in front and just notice how that feels in your seat. The other option is to bring your feet together and then we're going to open up into a butterfly. So I like to bring my knees in towards my chest, rock a little side to side to connect with the sits bones. Inhale to lift my chest and exhale, just letting those legs fall to the side, as gentle and slow as you need. You can create as much space as needed to bring those knees down towards the earth. Soon I'm going to be making videos for each of these practices with blocks and blankets. So if this is not accessible in your body yet, I have a video to come with blocks and blankets. So wherever you are, opposite leg in front, we're seated in butterfly. I'm going to inhale to lift our chest. Exhale to roll our shoulders back. Inhaling again to spread our arms nice and wide. And exhaling, crossing one arm over the other, giving yourself a nice hug. Pulling those shoulders away from your ears. Maybe lowering your chin to your chest. Just taking a moment here to thank yourself for being here, for carving out the time to connect to your best self. I invite you to use this practice to do so. Inhaling to lift your head. Notice which arm is on top because we're going to switch. So inhaling, expanding your arms. And lift in your chest and then exhale, opposite arm on top. Nice big hug once again. Letting those shoulders fall away from your ears. And on your next exhale, lowering your chin to your chest. My hope is that once you do connect to your best self, you're able to teach from that place, even if just for today. Inhaling to look forward. Oh, hi, CJ. Spreading our arms wide. If you're seated in butterfly, go ahead and use your hands to help close those legs up. We're going to go ahead and come long ways on our mat. We're going to come to lie on our back today. Pulling your knees in towards your chest. Rocking a little side to side here. We're going to go ahead and let our left foot lower to the mat, planting on our mat. We're going to cross the right leg over the left, coming through in a reclined pigeon. So, as we know, working in a K-12 setting is stressful. stressful physically, mentally, emotionally. And yet we still show up every day. Go ahead and lower that left foot down to the mat, taking your right foot and just crossing it, or your right leg and crossing it over your left leg. Inhaling, we're going to go ahead and put our hands just behind our heads. Let our arms fall wide towards the mat. We know that stress makes it difficult for us to stay in our best self. Gonna inhale, bringing our knees up, tucking our tailbone under, flexing your feet. And inhale here. Exhale, crunching up, nice long neck. And with your own breath, inhaling to lower, exhaling, bringing your nose closer to your knees. So there's a few things that make our brain more susceptible to stress reactions. Lowering our feet to the ground, unwinding, pulling your knees back into your chest. And the first is being tired, and we know that all too well. Go ahead and lower that right foot down to the mat, crossing the left leg over the right, coming to that reclined pigeon, flexing your feet to protect your knees. Another thing that makes us more susceptible to stress reactions is that stress accumulates in our bodies. Go ahead and lower that right foot, crossing the left leg all the way over the right. Bring your hands behind our head, bring your knees up, just tucking that tailbone under, flexing your feet. Inhale. And as you exhale, pulling that nose towards your knee, nice long neck. Lowering down, inhale. And exhale. And when that stress hits the tipping point in your body, that accumulation boils over, and boom, you're in a stress reaction. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Last thing is that our limbic system, going and lower down, uncrossing that left leg, bringing your feet as wide as the mat, letting your knees fall into touch. Your limbic system is in charge of your emotions and your habitual patterns. And that part of your brain does not register time. Inhaling to spread your legs. Stretching your legs out nice and long, nice full body stretch. Very good. We're going to go ahead and just roll to one side, pushing up to a seat. We're going to actually come through to our hands and knees, getting there safely for your body. We're going to come into child's pose. So you can do that with your knees together or taking your knees as wide as the mat, big toes to touch, sending those hips back, coming into extended child's pose. And because the limbic system cannot register time, this is the reason why people, when they get triggered, feel justified in their actions, because that part of your brain is telling you that the threat is real now, even though in reality, our life is not in danger necessarily. Inhaling to look forward, sliding those hands back, coming up to a tabletop position, shaking your hips a little left to right. Checking in with our foundation. So our knees are just underneath our hips. We're pushing into the tops of our feet. Our wrists are just underneath our shoulders, tucking our tailbone under slightly to get a flat back, tabletop position. Inhaling to lower your navel towards the mat, coming into cow pose. And as you exhale, rounding through, pulling that navel up towards your spine, spine towards the sky. Enjoying that stretch in your shoulders. Continuing with your own breath, inhaling to lower. Exhaling to round through. Coming back to our tabletop position. We're going to go ahead and we're going to shift our weight onto our right leg. We're going to try and distribute our weight evenly between both of our hands as we lift our left knee up towards the sky. We're going to inhale and we're going to pull that knee in towards our chest, opening it out wide. And as we exhale, bringing it down. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Nice work. Go ahead and we're going to come onto our fists, just giving our wrists a little break. We're going to do the same thing, shifting our weight into our fists evenly into our right leg, lifting this left knee off the ground. And this time we're going to reverse directions. We're going to inhale to lift the knee up, open wide, exhale, closing up those legs. Inhale. One more time. Very good. Shake it out. We're going to drop our elbows to where our fists are, bringing our forearms parallel on the mat. We're going to bring the tops of our head to the mat, coming into this modified dolphin pose. Option to curl those toes under and sending those hips up towards the sky. So the antitheses for these things in our lives that trigger us and make us more susceptible to reaction rather than response. The first one is rest and self-care. Go ahead and lower your knees towards the mat, lifting your head, coming back to tabletop position, shaking those hips out. We're going to do the same thing now on the other side. So distributing our weight evenly through our hands, pushing into the top of that left foot. Inhaling, we're going to lift the right knee. We're Go ahead and bring that knee in towards our chest. And with an inhale, open that right knee nice and wide. With an exhale, lowering that knee down towards the mat, in towards the chest. Inhale. And exhale. Nice work. Go ahead and give yourself just a little rest. Coming on to our fists maybe this time, if your wrists are needing that. Inhaling to lift that right knee. This time we're going to inhale to open up to the right. Exhale as we close that right leg in towards the left. Inhale. And exhale. Very good. This time we're going to go ahead and drop our elbows where our fists were. This time we're going to go ahead and bring our chest to our mat, coming into puppy posture. So lifting up those elbows. Nice work. Inhaling to look forward. Exhale, coming into Sphinx pose. Have our elbows underneath our shoulders. We're pushing into the tops of our feet, pushing into our pelvic bone. Forearms are parallel. Sphinx pose. Nice work. All right, so we left off rest and self-care. So next, to combat that accumulation of stress is to process your stress through laughter and movement, through connection. Inhaling here. Exhale. Making a little pillow for your forehead, shaking those hips out a little left to right, bringing your big toes to touch, your heels laid out. And since our limbic system does not register time, it's our job to notice that trigger, to pause in that sensation, building our best self reflex, and then respond from the best that you have, which is all any of us can do. Very good. Inhale to look forward. We're going to put our hands just underneath our shoulders, pushing into the tops of our feet. We're going to curl our toes under. We're going to slowly just come up to mountain to our first downward facing dog, pedaling it out when you get there. This is one of my favorite parts of my day is pedaling out my down dog. So please enjoy it, taking any movement that feels good in your body. And when you feel ready, slowly taking a walk up to the top of your mat. Feet are about hip width apart. Forward fold. Bending your knees. Bringing the crown of your head towards the earth if you can. We're going to inhale, halfway lift. So when we come into a halfway lift, we're trying to make that number 7 with our body. Exhale, forward fold. Nice work. We're going to go ahead and plant the right fingertips or the palm. It's up to you. And we're going to inhale. We're going to keep the right leg bent as we straighten our left. Noticing that sensation in your left leg. Inhaling to straighten that left leg. And maybe this time, twisting up, reaching for the sky. Inhaling to look up. Exhaling, lowering your left fingertips. Nice work. Reset. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. This time we're going to inhale, straighten that right leg, keeping a bend in the left. On your next exhale, go ahead and bend your right knee. This time you can inhale, straighten that right leg, twist, reaching up towards the sky. On your next exhale, lowering down. Nice work. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. Root to rise. All the way up. Hands to heart, maybe hands to your hips. Coming in to a nice, strong mountain Tadasana. Pausing here in our strong mountain pose. Noticing our foundation, connection with the earth. Strength surrounding our legs, our hips, our glutes. Inhaling, providing a little bit more lift in your chest. Shoulders falling away from your ears. Nice work. We're going to go ahead and start with a sun salutation A. So we're going to inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. We're going to plant our hands. We're going to set the left toes back and then the right toes back. We're going to start by going knees, chest, chin. Coming through to a cobra. And then making your way to a downward facing dog. Pedaling it out. Doing that stretch. Nice work. And when you feel ready, come on back up to the top of your mat, coming into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. Rooting through all four corners of your feet. Inhale. Hands to heart. Pausing and noticing as we flow, how the energy is moving in your body. You can use this information now to respond as we go into our next sun salutation A. This time you have an option to stick with that knees, chest, chin, or to go into a chaturanga up dog. Up dog. So you respond after checking in with your body. What feels good for you today? Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. Planting your palms, stepping your left toes back and then your right. Going into chaturanga, up dog, downward facing dog. Nice work. Go ahead and make your way back up to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. Root to rise. Hands to heart. So we're going to add on, and when I say find your flow, that just means you can do knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga to up dog. Mix it up, your choice. All right, inhale, reaching for the sky again. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift and fold. Planting your palms, stepping it back. You choose your flow. We'll meet in downward facing dog. This time, inhale, lift the right leg up. Toes are pointing towards the earth. Our hips are still parallel to the short end of our mat. As we exhale, bending that right knee in towards our chest, planting that right foot just behind the right hand, lowering your left knee. And inhale, rising up, coming into a low lunge. Today we're going to transition into a warrior two. So there's a couple ways that you can do that. If you're on your knee right now, you can go ahead and lift that back knee up and then inhale to look up and exhale coming through to warrior two. So warrior two, this back foot is parallel to the short end of the mat. My front foot is parallel to the long side of my mat. My right knee is over my right ankle and acting like you're taking your sweater off, plugging those shoulders back behind your heart space, warrior two. The other option would be just to stay on your knee the entire time and finding a safe way. Coming into warrior two on your knee. Very good. Inhale to look back. Exhale, we're going to go ahead and bring those left fingertips back to the mat. Inhaling, twisting, reaching for the sky with that right arm. Back knee can be lowered or lifted. And as you exhale, planting that right hand, stepping the right foot back to meet the left. Find your flow. Nice work. Inhale, lift the left leg towards the sky. Checking in with those toes and hips. Exhale, bending that left knee, bringing it in towards your chest, stepping that left foot just behind the left hand, lowering the back knee. Inhale, rising up in our low lunge. So your option is to go ahead and lift that back knee as we open up into a warrior two. If you'd like to stay on your knee, you're going to inhale to look up. Exhale, maybe planting your hands onto your mat as you gently come in to warrior two this way. Nice work. Left knee is over my left ankle. Noticing what's happening in my body. Responding with my breath. Responding with options. Inhaling to look back. Exhaling, bringing the right hand to the mat. Coming back. Inhaling, reaching up towards the sky with that left hand. Back knee can be lowered or lifted, you choose. And as you exhale, planting that left hand, stepping it back, finding your flow. Downward facing dog. Nice work. Checking in. And slowly make your way up to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. Rooting through your feet, rising up with an inhale. Hands to heart. Very good. This is going to be our last round of sun salutations. So adding on just a little bit more. You choose your flow. You choose what happens with your knee. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. Plant the palms, stepping it back. Find your flow. Down dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, bending that right knee in towards the chest. Stepping that right foot behind your right hand. This time, option to keep the back knee lifted. Right knee over right ankle as we inhale, rise up. High lunge. Inhale to look up. Exhale, opening up to warrior two. Checking in with that back foot. Inhale to look back. This time we're going to exhale as we're going to tilt over, coming into extended side angle. Nice long line from your fingertips all the way to the outer edge of that left foot. Keeping our weight nice and light on that right leg. Inhale to look up. Exhale, planting that left hand. Inhaling, coming, twisting up. Reaching for the sky, back knee lowered or lifted. And as you exhale, planting that right hand, find your flow. Very good. The left leg to go. Inhale, lift the left leg up in the air. Exhale, bend that left knee. Back knee can be lowered or lifted, your choice. Inhale, rising up. Coming into a lunge. Inhale to look up. Exhale, coming into warrior two. Checking with that back foot parallel to the short side of your mat. Hugging those shoulders in. Inhale to look back. Exhale, we're going to go ahead and come into extended side angle, this time on the left-hand side. Inhale to look up. Exhale to plant that right hand. Coming into a twist. Inhaling, reaching for the sky. Exhale, planting the left palm. Last flow, you choose. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga up dog. Either way, we'll meet in downward facing dog. You did it. Nice work. I hope that through that practice, you were noticing what was happening, pausing in the experience, and responding from your best. We're going to go ahead and just exhale, bringing our knees down towards the mat. Coming up just to sit on our knees, or coming into a cross-legged seat if that feels better. We're going to slowly walk our fingertips forward, coming into child's pose. Inhaling to look forward. Exhaling, drawing those fingertips back towards your feet. Flipping those palms up towards the sky. Letting your shoulders get like jello. Mm. Sometimes I like to take my hands and put them on my kneecaps and give myself just a little hug. A little squeeze, a little compression, a little love. Inhaling to look forward. Exhaling, coming back to tabletop position. Shaking our hips a little left to right. We're going to extend that left leg out. Lifting that left leg, toes pointing down towards the earth. Inhale here. As you exhale, bringing that left knee in towards your chest. And then continuing to bring that left foot to the outside of your left hand. Your left foot's about 45-degree angle. It's okay if your toes are coming off your mat. Coming into a lizard pose here. Option to curl those back toes under, lifting that back knee. Maybe coming down to our forearms. Noticing what space was created in those hips today. Inhaling, we're going to plant those palms. Bringing that left foot back to meet the right, shaking those hips a little left to right. Coming into tabletop position, extending that right leg out, lifting the right leg, toes pointing down towards the earth. Inhaling here, and as you exhale, bringing that right knee in towards your heart. And then continuing to bring that right foot just on the outside of that right hand. Curl the toes under maybe. Maybe come into your forearms. Sometimes I like to press into that space between my eyebrows with my thumbs. Lowering that back knee if it's lifted, coming back up onto our hands, bringing our right knee into our left, coming through to a seat. Stop. Extending our legs out nice and long. Rocking a little side to side, getting that connection with our mat. Just like in Sukhasana, we're going to inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, shoulders falling away from our ears. Our toes are pointing up towards the sky. As we exhale, letting our hands just fall to our sides, coming into staff pose. Pulling our navel in towards our spine. Inhaling to bring those knees in towards your chest, sliding those heels back towards your body. And we're going to come to lie on our back. When you get there, bringing your knees in towards your chest. Rocking a little side to side. Scoop that tailbone under. We're going to straighten our legs up. Our arms can come to our sides or maybe making a little cushion underneath your hips. Coming into waterfall. Just like we started with our arms in the air. And just noticing what's happening in your toes, your feet. Maybe your legs are starting to shake. On your next exhale, slowly lowering those feet, enjoying the journey as we come through neutral. And then sending your feet to the mat, sending those legs out nice and long, full body stretch. Letting those toes fall out wide. Shavasana, final resting pose. So, like Jay mentions in this chapter, we've all been there. We've all had knee-jerk reactions, things that we said or have done as teachers that maybe we wish we had done differently. Reminding ourselves that all we can do each day is our best, and accepting how our best shows up each and every day. So maybe this week we can practice noticing, pausing, and responding. If you have the time to stay in your Shavasana for 5, 10 minutes, please do. I'm going to close out practice here with the light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.